Yeah. Back once again, noon. No ceilings live. I hope y'all got a chance to listen to the last podcast, conversations about James Harden. If you haven't, click the link in the bio. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you click that link where you can subscribe to No Ceilings. The podcast, executive produced by Charlemagne the God for Black Effects and iHeart. Yesterday, we dropped the podcast, conversations about James Harden. I did it with my buddies from Hoops and Brews. Really interesting conversation. They were talking about James Harden being the third greatest shooting guard of all time. And we just started to peel back the layers. Obviously, we asked some people that we thought probably should be on that list before James Harden, that had greater NBA careers. But for sure, James Harden is definitely on that list in the top 5. And as we got into as we got deeper into the conversation, it was crazy. It was, the more I thought about it, it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was like we ended up getting into a space. You know what I'm saying, where we was talking about whose offense was better, James Harden or Kobe Bryant. And that conversation really kind of took over the podcast. And it was a hell of a crazy conversation. I ain't gonna lie. It really, really, really threw me off. You know what I'm saying, to say the least. It threw me off, to say the least. But the more I investigated the conversation, it made sense. So shout out to Marlon. Marlon, what's happening? Peace to the homies. I brought my brother Trap Bradshaw from Queens, New York. Feel me? We do a lot of stuff in the music. We talk a lot of hip hop on his platform, ADHD, Clubhouse, Twitter. You know what I mean? Go subscribe to ADHD on Clubhouse. And we can get to this conversation. It's funny because it's you actually mess with hoops. So it makes sense to me, to have this conversation with you.
Yeah. That's I gotta hear that. I mean, I didn't get a chance to tune into the pod yet, but I'm gonna check it out tonight though. But I want to hear what people had to say about that, because I mean, are we counting dog? You know what I'm saying, the dog within them. You know what I'm saying, within the player, within ranking them.
Offense is such a big conversation.
You don't talk offense either. You don't talk offense too much.
No, rarely. It's funny. My favorite. I didn't bring up the conversation. The homies brought up the conversation. The homies brought up the conversation. I think it was Pavi. Pavi brought it up, and he was like, "Well, whose offense is better?" And obviously, if you just talked about scoring the ball, right? It's Kobe Bryant by a mile. Kobe is a much better scorer, much more complete scorer, much more dynamic scorer than James Harden. James Harden is a really great scorer again, so that's saying a lot, because James Harden ain't no pushover when it comes to scoring the ball. Like, I don't know too much about his mid-range, or we can start talking about some, particulars, but James Harden put some points on the board. He gets it done. You know what I'm saying? But
he averaged 37 one season, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had multiple seasons averaging 30. So yeah, if it's just scoring the ball, Kobe Bryant is as great of a scorer as you could be, right? As far as from the shooting guard perspective, right? But when you account for passing, it makes the conversation interesting. And everybody, obviously, on Digital Soapbox on this platform, everybody that's on in LA, period, everybody in the world, obviously Kobe Bryant is a better basketball player than James Harden. Much more accomplished, just a greater player. But I've always said for years, right, that Kobe's defense is really what made Kobe Kobe. People talk about his offense, but his offense, like if you compare it to Michael Jordan, it's not really as efficient. Like Jordan does the same thing, but just more efficiently. But where Kobe is as great as a player you could be at his position as a defender. You don't make 10, first team defense and not be a tremendous player.
That goes underneath the radar a lot, though, when it comes to Kobe, though. People don't realize that Kobe made them first team defense, you know what I'm saying, second team like that. He was on that shit every time. He prided himself on defense, though, a lot, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think because of his offensive game, it gets overlooked how good of a defensive player he was, though, too. You know what I'm saying? He was a great defender.
That's what really makes him a greater basketball player than most people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he was the greatest shooting guard at his position offensively and the greatest shooting guard defensively at his position. But if you did just segment it
greatest
at his time.
Oh,
in his time and his era. Okay. Right? All we can talk about is eras. We can't really talk. We can talk we can talk about Michael Jordan defense and Kobe defense and then argue about it, but really they just dominated their eras.
All right. Okay, cool. I got you.
I think Kobe Bryant, defensively was as good as Michael Jordan was for as long, as amount of time. He wasn't as great as a shooting guard offensively as Michael Jordan for 10 plus years, but for sure defensively he was just as great. And that's what got him wins. That's what got him the championships. It wasn't the offense. It wasn't the offense. It wasn't. I mean, I think he had tremendous offense, but his stops, man, like when they beat the Celtics in 2010, that's stops.
Yeah.
That's when your offense can't get going. You got to rebound the ball. You got to stop players because the score is going to be 72-79. You feel me? Your offense ain't going to get it done. And that's
was he the best defender on the team?
Huh?
Was he the best defender on the team?
No. It's another nigga from Queens. There's another guy from Queens.
Another guy from
Queens right there. You ain't gonna play with that boy right now.
I wanted to see what you was gonna say. Right, this True Warrior.
Because True Warrior was there. A little shaky. Defense is my expertise. You feel me? Offense, I'm shaky. My favorite player is an offensive player, but defense, that's why I hang my hat. So again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. It was a young man from Queens there that was really the greatest defender. But Kobe was probably right on that level. You know what I mean? Kobe was on that level.
Matt Barnes on the other team. Matt Barnes on the other team when he was Kobe was there.
But to have Ron Artest is crazy. You feel me? It's just, you just go get some
that
stock.
was crazy. That was crazy. Come up was crazy.
But offensively, if we just take the offense, right? If we just make it offense, if we say who has the better offense, not just scoring the ball. Shout out to P-Town Rep. Shout out to Max Millie, Elos, all the people that support No Ceilings live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon, right here on Digital Soapbox on YouTube. I know we want to say Kobe. I know Kobe died. I know Kobe got 5 rings. I know Kobe's a Laker. But offense, I'm okay with saying James Harden's a better offensive player.
Because you added in he averaged a triple-double, which means he averaged 10 assists. He averaged 10 assists in the whole season, within averaging 37 points. You know what I'm saying? He scores from all levels. You know what I'm saying? He was able to score in the paint. He was able to score in the mid-range, and he had a 3. I mean,
he did have that little
float. 81 points.
Float in the mid-range was cool.
Kobe dropped 81 points, though. What's the most that James Harden dropped, you think? I gotta look that up.
He got like 50-point games. It's a 60-point game.
And never dropped 60 or 70 and no shit like that?
Yeah.
Because that's what people are gonna point out a lot, though, too. Kobe dropped the 81, though. He dropped the 81.
No. Kobe is a better scorer. And like I said, that's saying a lot because James Harden's a really great scorer. But
Kobe got a lot of shots up, though, too, bro.
When you include passing, right? When you include scoring, when you include passing the ball, offensive rebounds, you feel me? It's a different thing. We might got something to talk about. We might have something.
If you start adding all that into it, then a lot of other people get into the mix of it. Though I feel like I look at Tracy McGrady. The most James Harden scored was 61.
Yeah, and Kobe got to 81. Dub.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody supporting No Ceilings. My man Trey just entered the chat. Trayvon Edwards, one of the most savviest guys I know that know hoops. That was a hooper in college. Trap meet the homie. Trey meet the Trap. It's one of my brothers from Compton. You gotta unmute yourself, Trey. It's one of my brothers from Compton. It's one of my Queens brother. He out in New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We done messed around.
So, what do you say? What are you saying about this right now, man?
Okay, Trey. Offensively, including not just scoring the ball, Trey. You got to take some time and think about this answer. Who is a better offensive talent? James Harden or Kobe Bryant? Take your time. Include all things offense. Offensive rebounds, passing the ball, scoring the ball. Who's a better offensive?
I was going to say, and I think I mentioned this prior to us even having a conversation of getting to this point, right? Offense is such a broad, like, when you say offense, you could go into so many different ways, right, of how you want to put it, right? You could say, hey, man, this person is the best scorer. This person has the best footwork. This person can score inside and out. Best three-point shooter. It goes so broad, right?
Sure.
Now, when you really think about in the grand scheme, you got field goal percentage, shot attempts, all these other things, which obviously we didn't care about before the eye test. And I mean, the eye test was our only thing. And think about win shares and all these other things. But I will say, James Harden is a better offensive player. But Kobe said it, while he was alive, that he did not enjoy James Harden's style of basketball. Like, it just was not the fluidity of like where he, you know what I mean? He wasn't going to get off my line because he was very receptive to how the game was going, where it was going, you know what I mean? But that 1 year, the MVP year, outside of Michael Jordan, I ain't seen nothing like that. You feel me? Like, across the board, when you think about offense, when you go about getting somebody involved, being able to score, shoot a mid-range, cut to the basket, and those tough shots that he was taking, 35 feet out, 31 feet in, however you wanted to put it, he is a better offensive player. Now, when you say skill, Kobe Bryant, hands down. You know what I mean? But offensive player, James Harden.
Offensive player.
Yeah, James Harden.
Shout out to Mike Smooth TV. My brother Mike Smooth. Harden can't score in the playoffs. Oh.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? And we love to – that does count, right? Because the game in debates, how we even talk about these things, right? We get away from the main thing. This is a team sport. We always make it 1v1 because we highlight stars. We take away how you even got those open looks, who ran hard through those lanes, who rebounded to get you the second attempt, who set that great screen. We eliminate all those things, right? And we think about playoffs, right? When we even cry about, somebody shouldn't have won the MVP. The MVP is a regular season award.
It is.
Right? But
and
go ahead.
And the key word in that is value.
Right?
For some reason, we have synonymously made that award the best player versus they're telling us it's the most valuable. Go ahead, Trey. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you.
Oh, you good. But yes, that is the knock, right? If James ever took, I think that is a stretch now, unless he becomes like an 8th or 9th man on someone's roster, and he's really chasing a ring, which I don't see him. He prefers to still be comfortable in himself and do whatever he does. But in the playoffs, James tends to gas out, right? And it's because
that's what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely. So here's the thing.
No.
It's not a mental thing. It's not a thing. It just checks out, man. He just gasses out. He'll go for the 71, 77 games. Back then he was playing 81, 82. You know what I mean? But full thing. And this is a similar thing that we're having with Luka, right? Luka obviously got new help. We got Kyrie. Now they added Clay. They got more options. And these teams was very created to James Harden my way or the highway, right? It was never all right, bro, here. Help me out. You know what I mean? The Clippers is probably the one team that he's ever had where he could honestly say, but he balled. And the guys,
not the Sixers when he had Joel.
Nah, because him and Embiid never really worked for one on paper looked good. They both are foul hunters. They both clogged the ball. They stopped the ball. The play was just not. And James went away from what he did best. When you think when the Nets traded for James Harden, right?
Mm-hmm. Hated that.
They thought they were getting the Houston Rockets James Harden, right?
I didn't want him.
He switched. he switched his game to quote unquote fit because that is a good excuse to take it off. He didn't come into shape. His body finally wore down. His hamstrings is unwell. Like, you know what I mean? And now when he got to the Sixers, cool. You got to the place you want to be. You still not 100% what you trying to do. And then also you went and settled. You don't get to the rack anymore. You're not trying to beat anybody off the dribble. It's 3 or, or a pass. You limited yourself. You know what I mean? You're a shell of yourself. Not saying that. And he's kind of found it again with the Clippers, but like he's not as fast. Those moves don't work, and the offense and the rules have changed a little bit to not work in his favor. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, it is a difficult thing, right? But that's unfair to say that there is a playoff hardened thing. I think the thing is that most of his teams weren't as successful just because he wasn't able to pass the labor off in some teams. Like teams are built to succeed. His teams are regular season teams to boost his stats and make him look good. You know what I mean? A Clint Capella, you know what I mean? He always played with a lob catching big, right? And
compliment his passing.
And 3-point shooters, right?
Okay. So, but listen. So, Mike, to get to your point, Mike, Kobe Bryant averaged 25, 5, and 4 in the playoffs. James Harden averaged 22, 6, and 5. I don't think it's an issue of him can't scoring in the playoffs. I think where Kobe won in the playoffs is on the other end. If you put him next to Ron Artest, or if you put him next to Trevor Ariza, some guys that can lock down, what happens is you get the best defense in the black court in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Kobe struggled to score in the playoffs. The last championship we won as the Lakers, Kobe didn't average a ton of points in that playoffs. It wasn't like he was scoring the big buckets. He wasn't averaging 40. You know what they did?
Here's the difference too, G. Sorry to cut you off. Is that Kobe didn't give a damn about efficiency. Iverson didn't give a damn about efficiency. Am I going to win this game? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take as many shots as I potentially can to will my team to victory. That's not working in 2024. We would kill them. We would literally kill them. Like, you'd be like, yo, Kobe got 40. They got the win. But did you see that he went 18 for 46?
But minus the efficiency. People say Harden can't score in the playoffs because they're not winning championships. And
is his teams built to play championship level basketball?
But I don't even think, okay, so the way I see hoops, right, and we talk about this and y'all give me shit all the time, right. You really build around identities of all-time great players.
Yes.
Or multiple all-time great players.
Yes.
Right? So like James Harden's offense, while it is incredible, it's not Magic Johnson's offense. It's not Michael Jordan's offense. It's not generational transcendent.
There's a limit to his offense.
Well, I think it's a limit to. I think it's a limit to all players' offense.
No, but to an extent, right? When you say somebody's a three, like basically a 3-style scorer, right? When they can post, they can go get a
mid 3-point line, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure. You can't say that in the latter post Houston Rockets James Harden. He's not trying to get him. No, but hear me out. When you think about Kobe Bryant pre-Achilles, his game was so fine-tuned to footwork, to low mid-post, to getting to the rack, trying to be explosive. Like, none of them dudes can't even dunk right now. When you really think about it. Even K, right?
Sure.
K don't go to the rack no more at all. He settled for the elbow jumper. He might get something. If he get a dunk, he's slashing really through. He's not getting no putback dunks. He's not doing that.
His first step is changing. He's a mature player at this point.
Exactly. So as players get older,
shout out to Kevin Durant. I'm sorry.
They not in a scenario to even thrive in that scenario. Like the player that's still playing like how they play, and he's still getting killed for his inactivity to win is Paul George. Paul George still the only player that's still out here moving and grooving late into his 30s and trying to still play the same style of game. Ain't tried. I mean, he reached out to somebody the other day.
He's always had a developed game though. He's always could.
No,
but I get what you said. He going to the cup. He's still going to the. He's still
changing.
Yeah.
He just reached out to LeBron this summer asking how to adjust because he knows that he's not going to be able to do certain things, which is very true, but he's going to settle. So, I mean, I look at it like it shouldn't be a knock. I mean, let's get back to the actual topic of the playoffs conversation. It shouldn't be a sole knock on James. I think that takes away from so much because, again, basketball is won in a team aspect, right?
But yes, but it's not.
Think about KD versus the Milwaukee Bucks that year he stepped on the line.
Sure.
Joe Harris had to make those shots.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again,
he had to make those shots. Think about this though. He had to make those shots.
But it got to come.
Got hurt, right? James Harden is hurt. KD can only do so much. He gave us his best performance individually.
Freeze?
You know what I mean? K don't like to shoot a lot of shots. He's efficient. He'll shoot.
Sure. How many other shots he shoot, he gonna make the motherfuckers.
But 17 out of 19. And you be like, bro, I want you to go for 50. You can get 50 whatever you want. And he's like, nah, I'm going to pick and choose my spot.
47.
Right?
47.
His game is like Michael Jordan. It's built the same way. It's taken like Kobe to me spent his whole career. Michael Jordan spent his whole career figuring out shooting all the shots he knew he could make. Kobe Bryant spent his whole career figuring out how I'm gonna make every shot, if that makes sense.
But also, he added to his game, right? He became 96 to 98 MJ. He took that part and said, all right, I'm gonna add this to my game. The next thing he did was put his own remix to that shit and took it to a whole nother level because he reached out to Olajuwon. He reached out to Gary Payton. He started putting all this shit into one little thing. And also, you got to think about just killing nature. Like, bro, it's a lot of people that ain't quit.
Nah, I just want to ask you a question real quick because are we talking about scorers? Or are we just talking about shooting guards?
Right now, this conversation is purely about Harden and Harden's offense.
Okay, all right.
But
I think Melo a better scorer than all of them.
No.
Yeah, yes.
I think he's a dynamic scorer, but he's not a better scorer than either one of them. Neither better than Kobe Bryant or James Harden. No.
Footwork wise, he can score on the post, on the three. He can score on every level and every bit of way. They can't score the way Melo can score. Melo can score on the block.
Shout out to Uncle Ben. Shout out to Uncle Ben. I'm not disagreeing.
I feel like Melo a top 3 scorer all time.
That's what I'm saying.
I
don't know on Melo.
No.
He really be front on Melo. Like,
no, he's not a top 3 scorer of all time.
He definitely is.
No,
he definitely is.
He's probably one of the toughest people to ever like to defend.
Melo is a person that can score from every position, but is Melo gonna score from every position? That's the problem.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
G.
No game long.
Yes, he can.
No.
G.
No.
You got Melo on the trail 3. You got Melo on the catch and shoot.
Melo can
block. Hear me out. You got Melo on the low block because he might spin on you, get you that little quick joint, bang out quick. You know what I mean? You got Melo on the fade. You can't stop them.
Everything.
You can't stop the jab step.
Shout out to my brother Pete who has joined the actual live. Pete is a hoop. He's not an avid hoop fan. Again, this is No Ceilings Live. I got my brother Trey, my brother Trap from Queens, my brother Trey from Compton. Listen, Melo is a possible scorer. Melo can score from everywhere. Will he score is the thing.
Yes.
No.
What?
Yes,
no, bro. You better go watch go watch the commentary. When the players that he played against say he was the toughest guard. If they had the guard. Everybody
because possibly he can score from everywhere on the court. But you gotta score the ball. Melo is like a poor man's KD.
Get the fuck
you
poor man's KD.
You wildin'.
I agree with that.
Nah, man.
Melo is a poor man's Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Hey, KD
don't hit the block. He don't hit the block.
He could in his sleep. When he was with the Warriors, he was posting.
He don't hit the block.
You remember when he was with the Warriors, he was posting, Trey? That boy's out there. He was getting money every time he turned around. One step, wow.
He won't hit the block. He won't hit the block.
Here's my thing, Chief. Not saying K can't post.
He did with the Warriors.
No. Again, same way you just said, possibility scoring. He can score that way. But will he go to a block and go get it that way? No, that's not his choice of game. But so,
it doesn't.
But you eliminating his point about Melo, bro.
No, I'm not eliminating his point. I'm telling you the problem is he can score better than Melo in the post. He can score. He's a poor man's Kevin Durant. And that's saying a lot because
I ain't rolling. I don't even like putting them two. They're two unique
scores. They play the exact same game.
I'm cool.
No, they don't.
They play the exact same game. Both of them are 3-tier scores. I'm
gonna let you get that opinion off because this is not facts.
How is it not facts? What do they do different?
Because you know.
What do they do different, Trey?
Even my opinion about Harden and Kobe, that's not facts. It is an opinion.
No, my opinion is fact.
No, it's not.
Look, I'm not a part of that world where people just be. I only form my opinions based off facts.
But that's not. But there's no fact that can prove that.
If you look at where they shoot on the court, it's going to be from the same place.
All right. Look, right. So now, Melo is 2 dribbles, boom, boom, up, shot up. KD gonna dribble. He might dribble the ball.
No, 2 dribbles, shot up.
Yes. No.
Yes.
KD's gonna create up the dribble. Melo's gonna do 2 dribbles to the spot.
He can, Trap. He don't always have to. Man, listen, with the Warriors, that's what made him so unstoppable. It was 2 dribbles whop all night. His efficiency was through the roof.
But that kind of was a different offense he was in right there, though. Like he had to play that way within that offense right there because it was like it wasn't necessary for him to have to dribble the ball like that because you got Draymond dribbling, you got Steph dribbling. All he's doing, he come up with screens. Come up with screens where he playing the block. That's what he's doing like that when he was with the Warriors. That's what he was doing with the Warriors, though. It was a different. You don't see him playing like that with the Suns. You don't see him playing like that with OKC.
You could put him at the top of the perimeter. You could put him in the post. Steve Kerr would run him in the post. He'll whop your ass. Carmelo Anthony's game is just like Kevin Durant's game. It's just like Larry Bird's game.
Look, I'm going to lean towards KD, but I'm not about to front on Melo.
I'm not fronting on Melo. I think Melo is one of the greatest scorers as a small forward in basketball.
Yeah, but I'm just, again.
It can
go either way depending on the scenario. I just can't not say that I've watched him damn near break Kobe ribs, bro. Like,
yeah, remember that shit in the playoffs?
Melo is a great player. I'm not taking away from Melo being fantastic.
I'm just saying. Then you got Melo out here, jab, however you want it. Boom. You know what I mean? Them Nuggets years. Then you go into New York.
We're not saying Melo is not an amazing player. I'm not. That's not what we're talking about.
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it could go either way. However you want to lean into it.
No, it's not either way. It's clear.
Yes, it is an either way, man.
It's clear.
Nah, no, it's not.
It's clear, and you know it.
That's not that. No, it's not. It's not.
So Kevin Durant as a scorer is not clearly a greater scorer than Melo.
No.
Just lying on this podcast.
No.
Jeez, this is gonna be another podcast.
They both scores, bro.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant is a better scorer than Melo.
No.
Depending again, it is opinionated depending on how you like to see it scored.
I don't care how you like to see it scored. He's a better scorer.
Listen, again, depending on how
where you want it at, he's where do you want it at?
Listen, my man like low post, bang, pull
Kevin
up,
Durant in the low post over Melo in the low post.
No, bro.
Yeah.
I've never seen KD bully ball. I've never seen him do bully ball.
Bully ball is different. That's a little different.
Yeah.
That's a part of
it. You in a low post. You're supposed to be
low post. Bully ball ain't just
be a bully ball.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar don't have a bully ball game in the low post. The low post can be compromised.
What kind of game did KD have? What kind of game did KD have in the post?
Everything. You turn around, one step, face up, just however you want it. fade. He could what? Every part
That's
of
not
his.
It was a fadeaway.
I'm not saying he can't do it, but he not banging.
Nah.
No, I'm not. I don't agree with you. He's not
that shit. He gonna face up.
I totally agree. He's not banging.
Might hit you with the dirt one leg.
So if you want that, if you want that last piece that he's not banging, here you go. Yes, Kevin Durant is not going to bang you back and push you.
It don't work in his style of play.
I'm saying everything else. Okay, for sure. Bully ball. Everything
but also Melo not about to do what K do off the drip. He not about to do that.
Oh, he can do that. He just don't do it as good.
No, he don't do it like that.
He don't do it. Melo not doing that. Melo two dribbles. Melo two dribbles. Boom, boom.
Gonna look at your feet. Gonna hit you with a jab. Lean into you a little bit. Get a little physical. He gonna tire you there because he playing a long game. He gonna get right up in your chest. He gonna do all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely an underrated physical game. I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
It's two different styles, and however you like it, whoever you liked before that. Again, most people that like Michael Jordan gonna lean towards KD.
I hate Michael Jordan.
Huh?
I hate Michael Jordan.
No, but if you liked how Michael Jordan scored, you're going to like how Kevin Durant scores up or mid-range.
But minus what we prefer, let's just talk about what works the best. What works the best? No, Trey.
No. You ain't got no option for Denver Nuggets, Carmelo.
Not at all.
No option
at all. Early Knicks Melo was crazy. But I remember that playoff series when they played against the Lakers. I'll never forget that game one. Right, he was taking Kobe in the block. Come here, Kobe. Boom, boom, just bullying him the whole time. It was crazy.
He a big old front court player. That's what he's supposed to do. Bro. You're supposed to use your size to your advantage.
Listen, man. And then he could bring you outside.
Those two players are small.
Why are y'all defending Melo like I'm attacking Carmelo?
No.
I'm just saying he's not one of the three best scorers I've seen.
Yes, he is.
Is he one of the three best scorers at his position I've seen? No.
He's one of the three best scorers of his era.
Okay, sure.
Because
who's in his era?
You start talking about all that.
Oh, who's in his era?
Too many killers. It's too many killers. It's never.
He's not a better scorer than KD.
Hey, it's never going to be a fact. It's too many killers.
It's a fact. Kevin Durant's a better scorer than Carmelo Anthony. That's a fact. It's a fact. Kawhi Leonard. It's a fact. Kawhi Leonard is a better scorer.
Who?
Carmelo Anthony.
Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard's a better scorer.
Hey, you just came to ruin my day, right?
No.
Not at all.
You want to get my blood pressure up?
Not at all, bro. You don't even have no blood pressure. Would you like 170? You good?
You
all right?
You know how blood pressure works.
You good?
Hell no, you ain't no pork. Goddamn Melo, that's crazy.
Yes, he's a better scorer
right now, Lo.
So let me ask you a question. Okay,
it's a net gross conversation.
What'd you say, Pete?
This is a net versus gross conversation.
Break it down, Pete.
Break it down, please.
Meaning, the argument for Kawhi, for Kobe, for Durant, they're higher net. Their grosses are comparable, but they are higher net. It's almost like when you watch gymnastics and somebody gets whatever the hell score, and then someone gets not perfect, but a higher degree of difficulty. When you narrow down your time and space, you're elevating the degree of difficulty for your game. Mm-hmm. But that's also how you win on the floor of five in offense, in the schematics of time and space confines, which is what basketball is all about. So the greater cost between that net and gross production of Harden specifically at the start of the conversation and some of these other guys comes at the expense. So he's outsourcing costs to the other four on the floor. So he's always a greater scorer on a lower degree of difficulty, outsourcing costs to the rest of the floor for the potential of the overall five. So if it's comparable in output on paper statistically between A and B, but B is doing so at a lower cost to the other four, then it's not all that competitive a discussion to me.
I agree with, and that's my point with Pete.
And that's the difference between playoff basketball.
You agree with that?
That's the difference between June and January. Because as resistance increases on defense, performance on the rest of the floor collapses.
Exactly.
And that's why people say James Harden's not effective in the playoffs. Because he's not effective in the playoffs because he collapses the rest of the floor as resistance rises.
But that's because offense becomes less efficient in the playoffs. The referees, the NBA allows people to play defense.
And
so
guys
again,
don't play flat-footed like it's Tuesday night and January 10th in Milwaukee or wherever the fuck, because it matters.
Yeah, they be the NBA is marketing 170 to 162. They don't want you to play defense. They want people to watch, and people love scoring the ball. The average Joe don't want to come home to a basketball game that's 73 to 74. They don't appreciate basketball.
You weren't mind that, though. You like that right there, huh?
You know it. But it is a game of efficient. Listen,
I grew up in that game, and I played in that game in college.
My man.
Right?
I know.
So I understand it, but you can't complain about defense because the game has changed now.
I'm not complaining, Trey. I'm saying
no. I'm just saying fans can't complain knowing that basketball is kind of leaning towards all offense. You know what I mean?
Sure,
No, they can't complain. It's doing that to cater to the fans.
Yeah. And really, they're not fanatics. They're just people. For some reason, people think the hardest thing to do is make a shot. It hasn't hit them that the hardest thing in the NBA to do is to stop somebody else from making a shot. Everybody, you know what, man? The average person could come out on the basketball court, and if you shoot 10 shots,
not a lot of clunkers and warm-ups,
right? But
what is a defender in 2024 right now?
It happens in the playoffs. We start.
But what is an example of a defender at this point? Name one player that is like
Jrue Holiday on Kyrie Irving in the finals.
I like that, but for how many possessions is that? You get what I'm saying?
Enough to where you win the game.
The game is won in the margins. The game's won in 2 or 3%.
Is in 2 or 3 possessions. You know what I mean? It would be tough. Don't get me wrong. I think if Jrue Holiday guarded Kyrie all night, Jrue Holiday could probably keep Kyrie at about 40%, 39%.
Imagine heroing a defender, though. How hard would the game be? Like to hero?
You know, that's what I do. This is why y'all argue me about my point guard list. I hero defenders as much as everybody hero.
Yeah, that's why I said you be on BS. The game.
No, I don't be on BS. I just appreciate defense. I grew up in a different
time. It's always been about offense, bro. It's always been about offense. To score
to everybody else.
But that's what I'm saying. So again, same way how we talked about it earlier. Everybody got their different preferences. That don't mean it's a fact. You get what I'm saying?
No, my opinion.
I'm not saying that you're wrong either. You know what I mean? That you got a Dennis Johnson or said defender in your top 5. You get what I'm saying? Because you have a preference. The same way a man like Melo, we like K. You know what I mean? It is what it is, but you still get the same type of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's crazy because it's all ego anyway, right?
Sure.
Right? And when I say I'm talking about ego, it's more so ego of the fan getting the argument off. The player is just the excuse to argue this statement, right? You know what I mean? Because like the Jordan LeBron thing, we can go all day until we lose our breath.
Yeah, that's
I know what I watched. Somebody else might watch it different. They might look at the talent with a different eye. But if you was alive in 1980 and you walked across the street and you see somebody, you're gonna be like, yo, I can't play with them dudes. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be judging it off of bad quality TV. You're gonna think Larry Bird ain't shit. You're gonna think Dominique Wilkins ain't shit. You're gonna think Clyde Drexler ain't shit.
I don't know where they get that from.
Joe Dumars ain't shit. But because again, you're watching it with an eye that is now exposed to so many new moves, to different rules, to high scoring. Like they compare fucking Caitlin Clark to Cheryl Swoops. What the fuck?
You seen that shit? You seen that? I seen it.
And it was like
somebody called me up with that shit. That was crazy.
But at the end of the day, it ain't even about it no more. It's about who want to make an argument, who want to do this.
Yeah, but I try not to.
If you wasn't there, it's hard to like process that shit. You know
what I'm saying? What's funny? Yeah, I try not to do that. I try not to do that, Trey. What I try to do is I look at the whole game as it's being played. Like, let's say the 40 Bob Cousy basketball games I've been able to watch, over this much time since they were filmed, right?
I got so much respect for now.
Listen, when people when people talk shit, let's say in the group chat and the homies just talking shit about my picks, they're looking at Kyrie dribbling the ball today and Bob Cousy dribbling the ball in the 50s and 60s. I'm looking at how everybody else in the 50s and 60s were dribbling the basketball. That's how I judge basketball. I don't judge it based off of what's happening today versus what's happening yesterday. No. How was Oscar Robertson dribbling the basketball? How was all the other guards dribbling the basketball? That's how I judge basketball. So then you could see how far an athlete was ahead of his class.
Here's another thing, right, G? Right? Did either one of y'all play like beyond high school?
Sure, I played college.
Yeah, I played.
You get it, right? So here's the thing. Now, here's another thing. How tall are you? If you don't mind me asking.
6'6".
So, did you get to be a guard, or did somebody tell you go low block?
Nah, it was the low block, but later on, they was letting us do a little bit more. But for the most part, it was in low block though. At 6'6".
You get what I'm saying? Now, imagine you grow up, you 6'6", you enter 8th grade, and they say, "Hey, here the ball. Do what you want to do. Play point. We're going to work with you to be a ball handler like Magic Johnson or whoever it said be, right? You're going to be a different person. Like, it's hard to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had to play the 3, and I'm like under 6'2". You know what I mean? Like, you had to understand, like, people were limited. They did what they potentially can do.
It's
so
like street ball.
We go back to a Big O. We go back to whoever it is. Even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, he told Giannis Antetokounmpo, "Hey, I'm jealous of you. Because if my coach would have slightly let me do a little bit what you doing, how much better would I be?" But you understand?
Yeah.
Like,
I think
that freedom. So it's kind of disrespectful when you hear a guy like Anthony Edwards or said any of those players. I was mad at she calling that man Derek McKee, saying he wasn't better than Derek McKee today, which was kind of wild. Anthony Edwards wasn't better than Derek McKee, but that was out of spite.
That's crazy. Who wasn't better than Derek McKee?
Anthony Edwards.
Oh, Ant-Man. You can't put Derek McKee against Anthony. Nah, that's totally different.
That's a spiteful take.
That was crazy.
That was a spiteful take.
Yeah, that was a spiteful take. Yeah, that was fast.
But at the end of the day,
he got to shut up though.
Yeah, I mean,
no, he got to be quiet, man. He got to stop. He's seeming like he's not knowledgeable about the game when he's saying stuff.
He literally said he ain't started watching until he was 15, and the only person he did watch was KD.
It was KD, yeah.
He watched Adrian Peterson way. He was going to be football. Adrian Peterson was his guy. He watched that, and then he got handed. So I can't be mad that he don't watch hoop, but I think it's a silly thing.
Wait a minute. Who are we talking about didn't watch hoop?
Anthony Edwards.
Ant-Man.
What was the actual?
So did you hear the take? So you hear the take that he said? So the take that he said was basically that it wasn't no skilled players in the NBA back in the day aside from Michael Jordan. He's saying Mike, So and you heard Magic respond. Magic responded real quick. Magic said,
Magic
respond to people who don't win. He said, "Man, I don't think that man ever won a championship. I don't think he ever won a championship in high school. I don't think he ever won a championship in college, and let alone he ain't won no championship in the NBA." To be talking about the most skilled players in the I was saying back then. So like he was great. Like his takes has been crazy though, man. I mean,
y'all know I feel the best player on that team, and is dope. He's probably the best second best offensive player on that team. I don't want to talk about that, huh?
Cat?
Yeah, Cat is probably the best offensive player on the team. But again, it's like back to James Harden and Kobe Bryant's offense. It's okay to say James Harden's offense is better than Kobe Bryant's overall. But again, Kobe Bryant is not Kobe Bryant because of his offense. That's why he's Kobe Bryant to the general person who watches basketball. To a real hardcore fan, and we all know Kobe got the stops. That's what we loved about him. Like, yeah, he'll shoot you out the game. You know what I mean? You be like, damn, Kobe, God damn, Kobe, pass the ball. But guess what? He was going to come back down on the other end You know what I mean? And do what it took to make sure you didn't score if he didn't score, for sure. And I think that's where the separation comes for James Harden and Kobe Bryant in the playoffs as players. James Harden is not that guy on defense. Now, that's not to say James Harden can't play defense. He's just not Kobe Bryant on defense.
He did play defense, and then he ditched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The OKC years, the crazy thing, they drafted him. I was talking to Quinn Richardson about this. They drafted James, right? James, a scorer, Arizona State. You know what he did. We knew what he did, right? Yeah. He gets to OKC. He's coming off the bench for one, and he's playing defense. That's what he was known for.
Mm-hmm.
His first 2-3 years, he was known for playing defense, knocking down a three, and slashing to the basket and cutting, making back.
Like a small forward, like a 3-and-D guy.
They freed him. After that loss to Miami, they said, "Oh, you too good to be doing that." Got in his head. He requested that trade, got to Houston, did it a little bit with that squad. Francisco
D'Antoni was the thing, though. It was the D'Antoni, playing that D'Antoni offense. You know what I'm saying?
That D'Antoni offense.
Look at anybody. Look, right? It's crazy because all three of them played in the D'Antoni offense. All three of the people you're talking about. Melo played in the D'Antoni offense, went crazy. Kobe played in the D'Antoni offense, went crazy. And Harden played in the D'Antoni offense.
It's an offensive player's dream.
Yeah. He spreads the court. Yeah, that's a fact. So when
I think it's fair to say James Harden is probably, well, maybe Steve Nash, but I would like to think James Harden is the best player in the D'Antoni system. He benefited the most, but it could be Steve Nash.
I go with Steve Nash.
Yeah, I mean,
Steve Nash and Stoudemire too. Stoudemire played with the Suns and with the Knicks in the offense because it's basically the pick and roll. He was eating on that shit. That's when he had them had that streak that he went on with the Knicks. That was the D'Antoni offense, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So can we all come to that conclusion as a panel for once that we all agree James Harden's offense is better than Kobe Bryant's offense? Not scoring, offense as a whole.
I said that. I came in with that.
Okay. Pete?
The James Harden's offense is better than Kobe Bryant's offense? No.
Yes. God damn it.
Who said no?
This is the thing. Again, this is just my opinion. I don't want anybody to be like, this and that.
Yeah, I'm not like Trey.
It's like Doug Collins Jordan versus Phil Jackson Jordan.
That's totally different. It's totally different.
Why you say that?
Totally
it's not different in the micro. It's just it's different in the micros. It's not that different.
No, that was different. Phil Jackson Jordan against Doug Collins Jordan was totally different.
Doug Collins Jordan was a much better scorer.
Doug Collins Jordan was erratic, was just scoring from all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was just, you know what I'm saying?
So he was scoring tons of points at high cost.
Leash off your dog in an open yard.
Exactly.
That Jordan, Phil Jackson as a little kid, that Jordan was something to see.
Yeah. No, he was, but that's what I'm saying. That James Harden was something to see. No matter how you want to play.
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. I'm equating Harden to Collins Jordan and Kobe to Jackson Jordan.
What about passing the ball minus scoring, Pete? What about how phenomenal a passer James Harden is?
In that layout
year, he was the best point guard in the league, and he wasn't even a point guard.
Yeah, he was the best passer in the league.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Kobe had his years when he was passing the rock, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say, I know he went like on a streak where he tried it. He tried it.
And then that shit ain't working. He went right back to what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. He tried it at one point. Okay, what you say, bro? What was you saying?
Me?
That brother right there was just saying. No, I thought the old boy was saying something. What's his name? What's the names again, real quick? What's your boy?
Trey.
I know Trey was saying.
Trey from Compton and my boy Pete from the OC.
All right, Pete. Okay, Pete. I thought Pete was saying something.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
No, I was saying that's like a lot of the time component. It's like a quarterback having no time to throw or 6 seconds for guys to get open to a degree.
I ain't mad. I get what you're saying.
I get you. But
it's like Emmitt Smith versus Barry Sanders.
A little bit. It's just more the quarterbacks. I mean, if you're gonna hold the ball for a longer period of time, it affords more movement around you to get off a pass that is better versus if you're stay in this quarter of the court for 6 seconds. That's what you got, or use that half of the court for 18 seconds, that's what you got. It, you know, there's differences.
I think it's more so to do with reason why you're seeing James Harden as being a better passer than Kobe is because James Harden was put out on the court at times to facilitate the offense. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It wasn't really a time when Kobe was facilitating. Kobe was put out there to score. You know what I'm saying? Be the scorer in the offense. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it would boil down like that though. So James Harden was out there. Capella, come up here to the screen.
He had to score the ball too. He didn't have this cushy Clippers job that he had his whole career. This job a little bit more cushier. The other times, that was rough. He had to score and facilitate the offense.
This Harden?
Yeah, that was a nice Harden.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody. It wasn't a soul out there. Jesus couldn't guard that man. I'm telling you now. Hey,
so he had.
It just when you miss them shots, they missed them shots, bro. You remember they missed what 20-something threes?
Yeah, but you can't blame anybody else if you're gonna credit one player.
No,
you got to figure out how to get it done.
They missed, but I'm saying they missed what 20-something threes.
Yeah, but again, even the Lakers when we played against the Celtics again for that last championship in 2010 with Kobe, we were missing everything too. But guess what? You get the stops, and that's where Kobe is a much greater player than James Harden. This is where he's a much greater player than T-Mac. I mean, like T-Mac's offense isn't close to Kobe Bryant's, but he's not a bad offensive player. James Harden's offense, I like to think, is better than Kobe's offense by a smidget, even if it's by a smidget.
You adding the passing. I'm looking at the stats
once
right
you
now.
Start getting stops, it's like night and day. It's night and day once you start getting stops. James Harden ain't gonna get the stops.
I'm looking at his just assists. So starting in 17, he averaged 11.2 assists. Then he took off like the next 3 years. He averaged 8, 7, and 7. And then after that, what year was that? What was coming to? So this year right here, in 2020, he averaged 10. He averaged 10 assists that year. Then he came back around, averaged 10 again. Like he stay up there on the assist leaders. He get his team into the game though, definitely though. I don't think Kobe. I think that's where, as far as within the offensive, like the combine his whole offensive game like that.
Kobe game,
Kobe wasn't really.
Man. It's more market. Yeah. Like you going into a scenario of like you already bought into the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's even hard to even bring him up in any type of debate without actually stripping away the thing and actually looking at it for what it is, because there's a lot of people that just really didn't enjoy that either as a product. You know what I mean? Like he makes some big shots, dog. Like big shots.
Strip away all that shit. Yeah, I strip away all that shit. I get right to it. I don't do all of the fuck all the glory. You know, we gonna get right to it.
It's just nostalgia and moments and how people made you feel. So it's kind of hard to go against it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like now that people are sobering up on Iverson, I hate it because when you look at it and you go back and look, you're like, God damn, he was taking some badass shots, but like, he was so fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like,
shot 38% one season, man.
Yeah, and you're like,
I'm hella generous.
You know what I mean? Like, it is like,
I'm hella generous. I do look at your size when it comes to efficiency, which is why I hold Steph in such high regards. I look at where you play it on the court. If you're a perimeter player, so even at Iverson being at 40%, 41, 42% as a 6-foot guard, I don't hold that against him as hard. Now, don't get me wrong. If he shot 48%, Philadelphia probably would have won some fucking championships. But I understand also. I'm hard on Ant-Man in that same regard. Ant-Man should be shooting over 50%. That's, to me, if you want his offense to become transcendent.
More on the line of a Harden than anything, because those rosters just weren't built for that. You gas out.
I don't know if it's the rosters as much as it's the way he plays the
game. Bro. You only can make so many shots, bro.
I think you could put Kevin Durant on just about every team he's gonna shoot over 50% from the field. But he is
sure, but they also gonna take away some shit too. And you're gonna look and people gonna be like, damn, they got swept. And it's like, well, what the fuck everybody else was doing? You know?
Even the getting swept was more about defense. That team just didn't play defense. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't nowhere near.
And do a lot of shit.
Brooklyn. For sure, they didn't play no
chill. Let's not do that right there.
I gotta jump off, G, but
my man.
Do this.
No, you yes, sir.
Hold on, I want to ask you a question before you go, though. Man,
What's
one
up?
question before you go, because I want to ask this. I want to ask everybody the question. It was a start. It was a start, bench, and cut.
Yep.
You got Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, Mitch Richmond.
Start bench.
This is a fun game. That's a cool game.
Is it?
I like that.
Is it specific eras or complete career?
And they prime. Just look at them within their primes.
I'm gonna start
right.
Ray.
So I'm gonna start
Reggie, and I'm gonna cut
Rock.
me.
I'm gonna start Rock.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna bench Ray, and I'm gonna cut Reggie.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What you going with, Pete? What you going with, Pete?
They don't know about Rock like that though. So I'm, you know.
No, they don't know. Knowing about Rock. They don't be knowing about Rock.
I'm from California. Of course I know about Mitch. Don't do me like that.
What's that dude?
Hey, again, sexy names, recognizable faces.
Mitch is a sexy name.
No, he's not.
No,
I'm
not
from
like that. Not like,
There's
not like
only in
Ray
about
Allen
a dozen
and
All-Star
Mitch
games.
Richmond is not a sexy name to a California person.
Not like
No,
not
hear
like
me
Ray
out. I ain't talking about you.
Ray
You
Allen.
have
and
live
Reggie.
listeners right now, G Malone.
Facts.
I'm not talking to anybody in this square.
Facts.
We are
Yeah.
of age too. I'm assuming that we're all over 40.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm about to be 40, so I got a chance to.
Welcome, my boy. Welcome.
You're being there. You're being the paternity, man.
I will scream Rod Strickland till my face is blue. You get what I'm saying? The Chris
Ain't nothing wrong
Jackson
with that.
girl, the Bison Delays. We can go.
Mhm.
You know, we start talking about the B-side players, the Dana
we talking
Barrow.
about Nick
Yeah.
Van Exel.
Yeah, Dana Brown's my dude.
I could name two guys who had two different names throughout their careers too.
TLR Sounds. What's happening? All right, Trey. I'm gonna put you on.
All right, man. Easy, man.
Much love, Trey.
Pete, who you going? Who was you going with? Pete?
Mitch was on Dream Team too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on two.
I'm still gonna I'm gonna cut him. I'm gonna start Ray, and I'm gonna bench Reggie. There was enough talent around Mitch for something to have happened at some point in time, and it just never did.
It has some work.
There has to be something behind that.
Ryan Thompson, yeah.
I mean,
he had Hardaway, he had
on
Mullen,
the
he had
Kings,
Weber at a
on the
time, he had
Kings.
Sprewell at a time.
The Kings was a decent squad right there. He just can't get over the hump. He was with the Kings at that time.
Which I thought he was with the Kings.
Rock was that dude. No. He's with Golden State first. Then I think he went to I think he might have went to the where he went after the Golden State. Let me look it up real quick.
I thought it was the Kings way back, like cursive jerseys Kings.
No. He was with Kings when they switched it. When they changed the jerseys up, they was with the Kings. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know he's with Washington for a minute. But people don't give. I be feeling like people don't give Mitch Richmond enough props, man.
They certainly don't give him enough props. I'm not going to argue that point.
Mitch was clean, bro. Mitch was hella clean.
Yeah,
Mitch was clean. I don't think nobody giving props. Think Run TMC. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I think I'm going to start Ray Allen. I'm a bench Reggie, which I really want to start Reggie.
You cutting Mitch Richmond?
I'm cut Mitch, yeah.
I don't be understanding when y'all be cutting Mitch
Size,
Richmond.
man. Size in basketball.
You play defense and everything too. That's foul, man. For real, man.
Who I love, man. I love Mitch, but I think Reggie is a really good defender. I think he's a quality defender. I think he got
Reggie can't score the dribble.
I don't need him to. I'll get somebody else to dribble the ball.
Yeah, the other two guys are such low-cost offensive contributers.
Yeah.
All right, so it was Golden State. It was Golden State, Sacramento, and then it was Washington. Then he played for the Clippers. He finished off with the Lakers, actually. He finished off with the Lakers.
Yeah.
There was a lot of guys that rolled through that period of time in at Golden State. What's his name's knee was all fucked up before he went to Miami, which really I think held them back a ton. But I don't know how the hell he ever I don't know how the hell he ever recovered to be as productive in Miami as he was. It seemed like he was out for 5 years with knee injury.
Slowed his game out.
Unbelievable.
Slowed his game out, man.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you got that real game. You can just catch the ball and shoot the ball. But I love with Reggie. I love a Reggie dude. It don't take much. You know, he's a serious resourceful bucket all the time.
And you can
serious resource for bucket all the time. But I'm gonna wrap this shit up, man. Thank y'all for coming. No Sinners Live back Friday. More of this conversation at noon right here on Digital Soapbox. You already know, man. We out.
Thank you, guys.
Easy.